This is Ogredeski of WeAreChange.org here in Tijuana, Mexico. And what you're seeing right now is a makeshift encampment that was made here that is housing thousands of people right on the doorstep of the United States. Right over there across that highway is the U.S. border, where an estimated 5,000 migrants just in this location alone have gathered for temporary stay right before they plan to, of course, move towards the United States. And of course, a very complicated, emotional, hyperbolic, hyper-partisan situation has unfolded here with a lot of people manipulating the facts to, of course, score political brownie points. But in this video, we hope to give you the true side of exactly what's happening here, address a lot of the misconceptions, and to do that, we have Carlos Morales. He is a CPS whistleblower, a former social worker in the United States, to help us better understand the bigger consequences that this entire situation has faced the United States and Mexico with. Now, Carlos, first of all, the situation here I think could best be described as overwhelming and holy cow. This is not a good situation for the people involved here, not a safe one, not a sanitary one, not one where people are going to be happy on either side. How are you seeing things here from your first kind of experiences?
Well, we're certainly not wearing these masks for aesthetic purposes. It's a result of an actual health crisis. Around me right now are literally thousands of people who are coughing, vomiting, and are overall not able to get the kind of treatment that many of them are necessary right now as a result of fleeing their host countries and coming all the way up to the United States. There was literally urine all over the streets. The smell is pretty overwhelming. And as a result of the United States and Mexican patrols on Sunday separating out a lot of the groups, it is now more chaotic than ever with a host of people being arrested.
A desperate situation. A lot of the people who actually ran towards the border were arrested and evacuated and deported to their original countries in Latin America. A lot of other people are being arrested for, of course, petty crime, small thefts, drinking in public, which is illegal here in Mexico. So a lot of the news media says, oh, there's no criminals here, and then they post that's what a lot of the left-wing news organizations, a lot of the right-leaning organizations are pointing to a statement made by the Department of Homeland Security saying that there's criminals here. And the truth, again, is somewhere in the middle. A lot of petty criminals, a lot of people drinking in public, a lot of people stealing something. I even talked to one of the volunteers here who said that their friend who was walking out alone in this neighborhood in Tijuana was robbed, was hit, and robbed of their debit card and cell phone. But this is also attributed to the neighborhood that this kind of makeshift sanctuary is in. This is also in a rough part of town here in Tijuana, and as you can see, as I'm raising the camera above me, these are a lot of desperate people in a desperate situation that is getting completely muddied and completely confused by a lot of talking heads, a lot of politicians, and the facts here are amazing to really learn, even with how generous the Mexicans have been here. The Mexicans here are not only coming down and volunteering. There's a guy dressed up as a chupacabra literally behind me, but there's parts of Tijuana, the Tijuana community here that don't like this migrant caravan. There's also a lot of people here who come out, volunteer, help out, and if it really wasn't for the volunteers, this situation would be a lot more dire than it is right now. They set up medical facilities. We're seeing a lot of people getting treated for lice. We're seeing a lot of people getting treated for bacterial and viral infections. We're seeing a lot of people giving out masks, but still everyone's coughing, everyone's spitting on the floor. It is an extremely worrying situation. A lot of Mexicans coming down with carloads of food, of clothes, and really, a lot of people speculate a George Soros operation. Again, we're not aware of that. I haven't seen anything in that. It's really bare bones, to say the least. The Mexican government also offered a plan for a lot of these migrants here, and even made up a plan called Live Like You Would at Home, or I forgot the exact name, but the Mexican government actually offered housing, jobs, and medical care with schooling to a lot of the people traveling in the migrant caravan, that people estimated to be over 10,000 people. and the official numbers are in over 1,000 people. Some estimate 1,700 people have actually taken asylum inside of Mexico, while the rest, the majority of the people, which are men by the way, have decided to be bused here. A lot of them have been given bus tickets and sent to the border here and have not taken asylum inside of Mexico, but are looking for, of course, asylum in the United States. And the other side that I'm hearing here is that the United States is not helping process a lot of the asylum request, is not helping with the paperwork of the asylum request. So that's a left-wing talking point that I'm seeing very prevalent here. But the fact is the fact that a lot of these people don't want political asylum here in Mexico. They want asylum in the United States. And Carlos, you were working as a social service worker. You would know the exact kind of situation that social workers would have to deal with such a huge caravan of thousands of people coming in. Is that even possible for the United States to do? What are the costs? What are the ramifications of providing social services for so many people?
Well, obviously, it's going to be in the absolute millions, although keeping this amount of migrants out of the United States is also going to be in the absolute millions. There is no easy solution to this particular problem. We're already overwhelmed in the state of California when it comes to dealing with not only the cost of the immigrant populations there, but also children's programs, school programs. The debt is inflating and is completely overwhelming. So the idea that this is going to be an easy switch from them coming over there to California is an absolute pipe dream.
Yeah, and it's not only just that, it's also a lot of people saying that the labor force is going to be, of course, more abundant, making labor a lot cheaper, which has been a big talking point for a lot of people, even people on the left recently, with John Kerry and even Hillary Clinton coming out recently calling for less migration. Now, the bigger kind of discussion that has been happening here is a lot of people are saying, oh, these are asylum seekers. We saw Cortez, the new congresswoman from New York, say that this is all asylum seekers. Again, the facts speak for themselves. A lot of people here have denied asylum here in Mexico and are looking for asylum in the United States. But also, a surprising fact here, a lot of people here don't even know what asylum is. And the majority of the people that we talk to here, most of them are men, and are saying that they want a better opportunity, that they want to earn more money. But obviously, with the tough political situation, this is not going to end well for both sides, right, Carlos?
Absolutely.
What do you see kind of everything moving forward? Because one thing that is also very prevalent here, again, the story is so convoluted. It's not just black and white. There's so many different things to really consider here. The fact that a lot of people here don't even know what asylum is, that a lot of people here are distrustful of the Mexican government and think that if they go for an asylum deal that they're going to be deported. But, I don't see this ending in any way good. I mean, just for the sheer fact of everything that's unfolding here, what's your bigger kind of takeaway from it?
Well, I mean, there's obviously a lot of concerns, not only for the United States, but the migrants themselves. I mean, a lot of these people who are seeking asylum right now, if they decide to go back to their host country, will actually be murdered whenever they go back. Again, there is no easy particular solution to this particular problem. I can understand from a self-interest point of view the United States not wishing to bring in so many of these refugees or asylum seekers in this particular case. Although, to be quite honest, a lot of them would be able to manage to be able to get jobs and things like this. There is no particularly easy solution. The main thing is right now, though, is that any country that's trying to prevent healthcare from actually coming in this particular situation is creating a grave injustice for the people actually out here. Between septic, medicine, and cleanliness, if this issue is not contained here at the border now, with the amount of sickness that's going on, that is going to leach into the rest of the United States and into Mexico as a whole, and that's the last thing any of us are going to want out here.
Yeah, and again, the situation here is desperate, not only politically, not only economically, but also just on the sheer human value here. Carlos, thank you so much for all the information. Thanks for joining me here, having my back here. We're just going to walk across here just a little bit to give you more picture. There's obviously people here having makeshift shops, but everything, we're on the outside of the shelter. We're not even inside of the shelter. We're on the outside. To get inside, we need special permission to get inside. We haven't been able to even get access to that for right now. but at the same time, it is an extremely overpopulated scenario here. You have people cooking, you have people selling cigarettes, you have people just all over the place with a bunch of volunteers running around, a lot of people selling stuff, using this opportunity to, of course, sell stuff. Most of the food that is given out all across the streets. The sanitation, again, is something that I find just incredible and a huge, devastating thing to deal with. This is the main entrance of the main camp that you're seeing in there. We're going to raise our cameras so you guys could just see the sheer amount of just people that the Tijuanan population has to deal with right now, has to help out. And a lot of people from the government have been volunteering. A lot of people here have been volunteering. A lot of people here have also been protesting them. So again, not a very clear-cut situation, a very confusing situation that's only going to get more confusing, more desperate, as obviously there's no clear solution to this entire problem. And it looks like with Donald Trump toughening up the borders that a lot of these people will have to leave, and talking to a lot of them, they do not want to leave. They do not plan on leaving, with more caravans, with more buses coming in here. Last night I saw 3 buses come in here. There's even more caravans expected, so expect this situation to get more out of hand, more desperate, and a lot more confusing and a lot more bipartisan, since of course a lot of people are going to be using these people for political brownie points. And that's a shame in itself, and it's a shame what is happening here, to say the least. That's my personal point of view. That's my personal take from this. Let me know what you think. If you disagree with me, let me know why in the comments section below. Subscribe. Stay tuned for more live coverage on the ground here from youtube.com/wearechange, which is only possible because of you and your support. I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for more.